Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the last 2 weeks of October. I hope you are. I'm using the Llewellyn Tarot for you today. Now, if you haven't seen these readings before, I structure them slightly differently to the way that I do the main monthly readings, in so much as we are looking for the lesson. I believe that there is wisdom, or indeed a lesson, contained in every interaction and experience that we have. And sometimes we lose sight of that. So as an exercise in perspective, it helps make it easier if we can look at the energy that we're in and then work out why we are there. Sometimes we're trying to be given some insight into our inner workings. Other times it's about clearing the decks for new things to come in. I won't know until the cards hit the table, but the aim is that it makes what can be quite challenging energy more navigable, right? I think that's probably the best way to put it. So we'll pull 3 cards for your current energy, 3 cards as to why you're there, and then 3 cards of advice, and see if we can't ease the way just a little bit. So I have 3 cards for Capricorn, please. Well, you're the 3rd sign today that's had the Tower, but interestingly enough, as I was doing the meditation before I started your reading, I felt it really strongly. I knew it was going to be one of the cards that came out, but it is somewhat mitigated by the fact that we have the Wheel of Fortune there. I mean, this can be very tempestuous, very destructive energy, but the idea is that there's never a void. Something will always rush in to fill it, and actually, whatever happens in this next couple of weeks, as destructive as it may feel, it seems like it's absolutely seeded with opportunities for you, Capricorn. Let's get a couple more cards. 3 of Wands, and whatever that was, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, this actually all looks really, really positive. When I said you're the 3rd sign to go, check that out at the bottom, we've got the full. You're the 3rd sign today that's got the Tower, and in every single case, it feels less likely that it's about to bring, all sorts of grief and strife and a period of mourning being necessary after it, and more like it's actually just disrupting in the best possible sense. When we have disruptive businesses, they're those that come along and challenge the status quo because they do something different, like coming from outside the the normal order of things, and they do it better, and they force the entire industry to up its game because in light of what this disruptive business has done. And honestly, that is the energy that I'm getting for you here, Capricorn. I like it because some of your readings recently have been a bit like very emotionally hard work for you is what I've been picking up, but this feels very, very good. And like I said, the Wheel of Fortune, it can indicate your fortune's improving, and that's a good thing. It can also indicate a lesson being learned, like passing some sort of energetic checkpoint and being like, right, here's my save point. From this point on, even if I fail at something over here, I'm only ever going to come back as far as here. I'm not going right back to the beginning. But we do have the Fool here, right here, and actually the Queen of Pentacles is sat behind it, and there's you, right? There's an opportunity for a new start here in some way or another. It might be related to work. We do have the 8 of Pentacles behind there, but certainly I would say in relation to your material existence in some way, right? So whether that's literally your money or your job or where you live, something like that. None of which it feels to me like you will see coming. But when it hits, it almost feels like, yes, this is right. Of course, this was always going to happen, and this is brilliant. It's that kind of energy. We've got the 3 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles here. The 3 of Wands can sometimes, and certainly has done for me recently, indicated changed behavior in some way. But actually, in light of the other cards that are here for you, it seems like this bubble that you've been kind of sat in for a while, that's been flexing and stretching, reaches its tension point and it rips wide open, and with it comes all sorts of opportunities. With it is the opportunity to break the status quo that has in some way not been suited for you. And there's movement. there's action, because it's the Three of Wands, not the Two. This is not you getting to decide whether you're going this way or another. This is you actually going with something. And it's quite spontaneous energy for an earth sign, and particularly for you, Capricorn. I mean, you like to know the next step before you take it, but this feels like it's coming in sideways. But like I said, when it comes, you're like, yes, obviously that would be the thing. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is good resource management for me, right? All of the nines speak about the individual, and this is independence, this is self-sufficiency. There's those things that Capricorns, well, and everybody should value really strongly. It's interesting because Capricorns don't like disruption, but you do like to disrupt, and it feels like you are the disruptor here. You know, that it's almost like there's a situation. There's something going on, and although it may look just briefly like everything's going to shit, you're just on it and you see the opportunities, you see the new things. It does feel like quite exciting, actually. It almost feels like my brain's trying to zip along at 100 miles an hour here, and I feel like that's you. That's like kind of processing this all really, really fast and seeing that there are opportunities in here. There's a leap that it's possible for you to take into the void, because you know that there's something down there that you can ride on out of here. You know, does that make sense? Because I think while things have been pottering along at a level and it's been acceptable, it's been okay, maybe on some level you've been you've been kind of daydreaming for some sort of disruption to come, and it looks like it's here. Why is Capricorn here in this energy, please? Why is Capricorn here? So, first card out again is the Fool, which is astonishing. We have the Nine of Swords, and one more, and the Lovers, yeah. So, my God, these are coming thick and fast now, Capricorn. I mean, let's start with this Nine of Swords, right? Nine of Swords is anxiety, it's overthinking, it is maybe even insomnia. Have some of you not been sleeping properly recently? I think that there's worry here, but it doesn't feel like it's this deep grief. It's more a kind of hypervigilance, you know, trying to keep lots and lots of plates spinning in the air at once, and being concerned that you might be missing something here, there or everywhere. You know, it's trying to keep all of these balls up in the air, and the immense amount of mental concentration that it's taken to keep everything like this. Now, I don't know if you're going to be dropping a plate or dropping a ball, something like that, and what looks like it could be catastrophic, you can instantly turn around into something incredible. It's like, you know, like those scientists who set out to prove something and then accidentally invent like LSD or, you know, sugar, or I don't know. You know what I mean, right? They set out to do one thing, and, you know, perhaps a very innocuous thing, and then somewhere where something cooks up, it accidentally creates something incredible. You know, it's got that kind of feel about it. But this, I do think that some of you are not sleeping. Like, that feels really, really strong. Like, you're not getting enough sleep. And if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not looking after yourself properly, Capricorn. Between you and Sagittarius, there's a kind of I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of mentality. For you, it's usually work related. For Sagittarius, it's usually sex, drugs and rock and roll, or at least it was at some point in the past. Maybe both. Maybe you have Sagittarius in your chart somewhere. Let's get another card or two for this Nine of Swords. We've got the High Priestess, Pisces energy, and Strength, Leo. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like this is going to surprise you, and it's not going to surprise you. it's going to surprise you because it was unexpected, but it's not going to surprise you because in some way you've intuited this ahead of time. You know, the High Priestess is knowledge, wisdom, right? But she is also Pisces. It's that kind of dream space. It's funny that we've got an idea of dream space coming out under a card that's speaking about you not sleeping. But I've often said that I feel like Capricorn are underrated intuitives, very strong underrated intuitives. And maybe it is. This is a daydream that you've had suddenly coming to fruition right now. And the reason why that's important, because we're not going to mangle your head too much as to whether you have actually manifested this with your daydreams or whether you tuned into, you know, a probability that was coming towards you. Because honestly, that doesn't really matter at this point. What does matter, however, is that you trust this feeling when it comes. And I've said, Capricorn, often you don't trust your intuition. And I think that at times you've kicked yourself for it because you've seen things coming and you're like, no. And then it's happened. You're like, fuck's sake, like I saw this coming, you know, and you've used it as a stick to beat yourself with. But then the next time that something comes along that you've intuited, you don't necessarily change the way that you've reacted to it. You go through that whole same, oh, don't, you know, I'm just being silly, I'm just daydreaming here, and yet, you know, there it is. But we've got this Strength card. It's a card of resilience, it's a card of strength, but it's actually very gentle. We've got this little girl kissing the nose of a bear there. Absolutely fearless. And it looks like it could well be the same girl that's in the High Priestess card there. Your intuition is strong. It's actually something that's very, very powerful about you, Capricorn. And what it looks like here to me is the reason that this is all happening is to show you how powerfully intuitive you are and to ask you to trust it. Because then you would not spend so much time up late at night worrying about things or up late at night working on things. You know, this trust aspect is a really, really huge part, but there's something new. There's a new adventure that looks like it's getting ready to unfold for you. And you will need your intuition moving forwards. There's only one card of swords on the table and it's the Nine of Swords. Everything else is water and fire and earth. Which suggests that the thinking side of things needs to be stepped down a little bit, and the intuition, the knowledge, the tuned in thing that you have that you don't tend to pay that much attention to will be the thing that sees you getting the furthest with it. And then we've got the Lovers card, a card of union and harmony, yes, but it is for me a card of a choice. More than that, because it's not about what you decide, but actually the act of stepping up and making a decision about things. It talks about conscious co-creation. Now, whether you're manifesting something or whether you're tuning into it, the end result is the same. But if you are manifesting it, and this is a card of manifestation, then it's time to get very, very clear about what it is that you want, Capricorn, because this suggests to me that you have the opportunity to bring it towards you, you know? You start there too. It's all over this. Right, can I have some cards of advice for Capricorn, please? Thank you. Good Lord, right. I've got the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck, so this is a time to take action. This is not a time for stepping back and just seeing if everything will work out, right? This is about your action. You know, we see it here with this Three of Wands as well. If something implodes in front of you, it's a sign, right? It's there is where you need to look to pull something new out. What I don't feel is you kind of going off in an entirely different direction. This is mining an opportunity for something that you have always wanted. There's something that, in fact, I feel like you've daydreamed about. We've got this Knight of Pentacles here. It's Virgo energy. And it's very much like you. I mean, it's the card before yours. Yours is the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is about understanding the value of things. It's about not taking shortcuts. I don't need to explain this to a Capricorn. You know exactly how this works. But it's also about knowing your personal value. And I think that that's something that Capricorns have struggled with a lot. You know your value within a specific environment. In the workplace, you know exactly what you bring to the table. In other respects, in other aspects of your life, that has been less quantifiable for you. So it's one of the reasons why I'm not sure that this implosion is necessarily anything to do with work, whether it might be something else instead. Know your value, know what you bring to the table, and hold it up, right? Feel it, don't just know it, feel it too. We've got the Four of Cups here with the Death card. Now, the Four of Cups is about rejection. Sometimes it's about rejecting too. I'll not miss that. Sometimes being taken for granted and all that sort of thing. But, you know, we've got somebody there who is just not paying attention to the cups that are all around. Now, if this is you in some way or another, Capricorn, if you have felt like you were a little bit isolated emotionally from other people, this seems to me like an opportunity to change that dramatically, because we do have the Death card. Yes, it speaks about endings, but I think an ending and a beginning are exactly the same. It just depends on the perspective that you're using to look at it, right? And this whole reading is riddled with notions of ends and beginnings. There's an opportunity to change the way that you feel about yourself, about the value that you bring to anything, to any given situation, to any kind of relationship, right? To see yourself as you actually are, Capricorn, rather than what you fear you might be, because they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. Let whatever is trying to transform in the next few weeks do exactly that, because I guarantee you will feel better as a result. And where there is the possibility of opportunity, where you see it, where you sense it, where you intuit it, jump on that. Jump on it straight away, because it feels like it's taking you to a whole new level. Almost like you've kind of topped out where you are, wherever that is, and that this is some way of breaking through that resistance that you've been experiencing to go bigger. You know, very exciting time, to be honest. That's what it looks like to me. Right, I shall leave it there. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.